Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what that was. When we're talking about the NBA All Star Weekend, and it's not over. I mean, I'm recording this before the game, like the actual All Star game, and by every means, it's not going to move me from my opinion. It could be one of the most entertaining All Star games, which I sincerely doubt it is. But everything leading up to and the things that like as NBA fans we get up for, what was that? Like that's all I can think of is like what was that? And I'm good. I made the decision. I've already tried to record this a couple times and kind of guide my thoughts before going down these rabbit holes. And I'm gonna pick it apart just because, and also like to set the baseline of understanding of what do we expect out of the All Star Weekend. What are we looking as fans to get? Entertainment, and then maybe like a couple steps above that. It's like a Marvel movie. Like you just want it to be entertaining, but also you have these really good outliers like Endgame and all these other great movies. And you get like a taste of that every couple of years. Like 2016, that All-Star like weekend was like the Endgame or like just a really, really good Marvel movie. But then you just have some really just you leave the theater, you leave watching those like mini games thinking, well, what did I just watch? Like what did I just spend my time like getting up for? And that's how I really felt. Like I felt like I just watched the Madam Web of All-Star Weekend. But then again, like I don't want to do that to the 3-point contest. We'll talk about that. But because that was the best part of last night. And the Rising Stars game was okay. But like, and also before we start going game by game, I do want to talk about the court. I don't know if this is a hot take. This may be a hot take to some people because a lot of people are hyping it up on Twitter. I know the commentators were saying like the LED court was like the star of the show. I hate to break it to you. Call me an old head. Call me whatever you want, but I was kind of sick of it. Like I don't like the in-season tournament courts because it just was like kind of harsh to the eyes. I remember like getting dinner with a couple of my friends who don't really pay attention to the basketball. They're like the most casual of casual fans. So they tune in maybe every couple months and they see the in-season tournament courts and they kind of wince, like physically, like visibly wince. They're like, what are they doing? And like the idea of the LED court is cool, but then again, I also think of the times when I was a little kid and there was that like play mat that was interactive at like museums or like some stuff like that where you like had to like physically stomp on like a bug and it was like a little game and it would like catch your trail sometimes. And it was always really cool. Um, I see the vision that Adam Silver is going for with this LED court, and it was like really bright and saturated and cool and all, and I know for a fact they're probably testing it so that they could actually do it in a live game. Please don't do that because I got sick of it after a while. And there's something to be said about a good classic like wooden court. Just especially we're in Indiana, guys. We are in Indiana. The in the words like the classic of classic when we're talking about basketball, and we're getting a little bit too cute. I think Adam Silver, when we're talking about technology, is getting a little too cute, a little too forward. I understand the NBA is one of the more forward brands of like just really sports in general, but I think they're getting a little bit technology like too forward and a little too cute with the game. And I just want to keep like some of the roots and like what made basketball, I guess. Like I'm gonna sound like an old head. I really am going to sound like an old head, but I was not the biggest fan of the LED court. I think it was cool for a little bit, but like I will say the intros, that was pretty sick. Like for the dunk contest, being able to see the video on the court, I think it looks great on TV, but when the guys are actually playing basketball, it kind of just looks tacky in my opinion, and I may be alone in that fact, but I wasn't all the way in. Like I saw a lot of people on social media were like, we need to do this more. And I think very like brief at times, I would sprinkle in the LED court, but I wouldn't do this for a full basketball game because I think it would just be harsh to watch. And like honestly, It reminds me of 2K, and I stopped playing 2K for a little bit just because like, and even I'll see it on TikTok and YouTube, like the courts, like everything is just so brightly colored that it's just really it's a tough watch. I'll be honest, it's a tough watch in my opinion. But let's talk about the weekend itself, because we could talk about that LED court for God knows how long. And in all honesty, I didn't get up for the skills challenge. You had Anthony Edwards shooting left-handed three-pointers. I couldn't tell you who won. I didn't watch it. Like, the skills challenge, in my opinion, is something that I'll watch on TikTok. Call me a casual for it. I mean, I'm sorry. Are we really judging people for not wanting to watch the skills challenge? Like, it's cool. Like, you could have some fun moments. Scotty Barnes doing a backwards one-handed, like, damn near half-court shot and being way off. Like, I swear, sometimes the NBA just has players that are just pure entertainment, and him and Anthony Edwards are that. I would love if we want a podcast of two players that like I think Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson just came out with one, and it's pretty great so far. Put Anthony Edwards and Scotty Barnes and Jalen Williams for the OKC Thunder in a podcast. They don't need the classic just random white guy that just asks them a bunch of questions. Like, just get those three in a room and give them non-basketball related questions, and I guarantee you millions. Barstool would eat that up in like 2 seconds. I think it would be fantastic. But you know what? I'm just the ideas guy here. Pivoting to something actually good from the weekend so far. The 3-point contest was great. Like I said, the neon lights of the LED court was kind of getting tough to watch. But then again, it was a great contest. Dame goes back to back. I think the 3-point contest, they've added enough things where they spice it up and it's really fun. And then you had the 1v1 with Sabrinna and Steph. I think that lived up to expectations. And of course, you had some haters, which we'll get into Kenny Smith here in a minute. But like overall, Sabrinna did fantastic. Steph just proved who he was, that he's just the greatest shooter on the planet. And Sabrinna put up a really good fight, put up some of the best numbers comparative to the other NBA players. And like when it comes to shooting, just she's on that level. She is. And I cannot wait for Caitlyn Clark to get into the WNBA. And then we're really cooking with grease here on this All-Star game, because I think Caitlyn is going to cause some real problems for Steph, especially if they just extend the range to like half court and you can get like a bunch of points, because I think the starry ball is the one that's like just from range. Even back it up even more. I mean, we're talking about Caitlyn Clark, the same person that hit a half court shot to break a record, which just talk about absolute dog. But yeah, I mean, like, there's not much to say outside of Kenny Smith. Shut up, man. Like, I'm a Rockets fan. I love Kenny the Jet Smith on NBA on TNT, but the dude was just airballing take after take after take. And like, even like then, like, I'm a hater at heart. It's fine being a hater, but like the dude was just like egregiously annoying all night. Like, the dude was not like, first of all, hating on Sabrinna for using the women's ball. Shut up. Okay. Dude, who cares? Then he is yapping the whole dunk contest, hating on the most obscene, like, minuscule things, like Jacob Toppin's wearing Obi Toppin's shoes that he won in his dunk contest, then starts like saying, I don't really care as long as the dunk has to matter. And then the judges also sucked. Like, the judges, like, you start to wonder, like, were they trying to rig Jaylen Brown into the finals so that if he wins, it gets other superstars? Because that's really the goal of what the NBA is trying to get, is these superstars like Anthony Edwards, like these high flyers. Even LeBron would probably get a lot of people up, even at the age that he is at. Zion, to still have not done a dunk contest is just heartbreaking. Ja, like, there's so many great high flyers, and I just, out of all the guys that are great dunkers in this league, because Jaylen Brown is a great in-game dunker. They said it. They honestly said his flaw during his first dunk is, well, we know Jaylen Brown is great at dunking a basketball in game. He gets a lot of posters. He has a lot of ferocity. Like, you see it in his like attempts that he has a lot of power behind him, but he just doesn't have the sauce. And that's what really the dunk contest is missing, is that sauce that it used to have. Like, you had a little sprinkle of it with Mac McClung coming in, because Mac McClung, his entire career ever since high school, was just bunnies and just being able to make some obscene dunks. And he had like being able to toss the ball to yourself mid-air, catch it, and dunk it. Don't overlook how difficult that is. And like, he's at least trying, and he kind of won by default, but the dunk contest does not have the sauce that it used to, partially because we just don't have the creative juice available. Like, it's not their fault that like every dunk has been possible and like has been done. It's not their fault that social media, you see the same dunks every single day, so you don't have anything. Like, objectively, just think of like you were in the 90s. You don't have like this constant flow of media. Even in the 2000s, you don't have this constant flow of media pumping out these crazy dunks that you could see in a 24-hour fitness for 365 days. And then the dunk contest would come around when you didn't have that. And you're seeing things that you've never seen before, because sometimes like the dunk contest would allow for players to do things that they can't do in game. But now you have this constant flow, and that's the issue. And that's not something you could just fix, which is heartbreaking. But like, objectively, the 3-point contest and how the 3-pointer has been popularized, just put it at the end. It's just simple as that. Just accept the fate that the dunk contest is what it is. You're never going to get back to that point. I understand 2016 happened with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, but like I've said before, really the dunk contest reminds me of Marvel movies. Yeah, it's going to be pretty painfully mid. You're going to have some really bad ones. Like, I hate to say it, last night was kind of like the Madam Web of dunk contests, but then you get Endgame or you get like Infinity War, and that was like 2016. It's just sometimes you're going to have some great ones, but you're going to have a lot more than good. And also Jaylen Brown, people that are like I've seen like a group of people on Twitter go, oh, why are we trolling these superstars? This is why they're not going to go in the dunk contest. You know why Jaylen Brown's getting trolled? Is because his dunks sucked. I'm sorry. The one thing I do like was the pettiness of grabbing a Michael Jackson glove and putting it on your left hand and doing a left-handed dunk. After all the chirps, and like, it was so bad because I think Kenny Smith or Kevin Harlan was just like they were talking about how people online were talking about how he can't dribble with his left hand, can't do anything with his left hand. And then someone was like, really? They're saying that? As if they're surprised that the NBA community wouldn't troll someone like that. He's an all-star. How could he be an all-star without dribbling with his left hand? I don't know, dude. It's Twitter trolls. Of course we're going to troll about the most minuscule things that aren't really true. Because Jaylen Brown objectively would be able to destroy 90% of America with just using his left hand. He could probably shoot jumpers with his left hand and beat 90% of America, but we're still going to troll him because he lost a series where he turned the ball over consistently trying to go to his left. And I think the fact that he tried to dunk the ball, and he didn't try. He succeeded in dunking the ball with his left hand wearing a glove. I think it's really funny. The Kai Cenat, dab, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to do the D Brown thing. It was really bad. That is on the same tier as the Jalen Green NFT dunk. And I'm a Rockets fan. And that one, that was painful to watch. Yeah, man, I don't really have much else to say. The NBA All-Star Weekend, I'm not providing any solutions because it's not my job. I think LED court was too cute. Dunk contest is cooked, and I'm excited for the future of the three-pointer, the three-point contest. It's going to be really fun. Oh, well. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite or least favorite part of the All-Star Weekend has been. If you look down below, that is an email where you are able to submit questions, and I will answer them on the Rush the Field live show weekly. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and have a wonderful day.